My name is Philippe Malouin. I'm a designer from London, and we're currently at Palazzo Serbelloni in Milan for the Movements installation for Caesarstone. We first did an installation for Caesarstone in Canada. Then we had a meeting and we discussed possibilities for Milan, and we pitched the idea to Caesarstone that we would be making a range of experimental planters using their materials, but we didn't know what they were going to look like because we needed to experiment with them. We managed to convince them eventually, and they were very, very kind because they gave us the opportunity to go to a giant factory in France called Groupe PDP, where we had every single stone processing machine in the world, and we could do whatever we wanted. The planters room very much expresses how we work by designing by making. You can see a wide spectrum of different Caesarstone styles, colors, shapes, textures, and compositions. We were interested in not making just flat things out of the Caesarstone, but making three-dimensional objects. So one way of working that way was to take a flat plate and then to cut it at different intervals and then bend it together whilst gluing the inside, giving the overall appearance of a solid block of stone whilst using very flat materials. We just wanted to take the material out of its 2D state and more in a 3D format. We have 8 swings showing 8 different colors of Caesarstone. Each swing has a corresponding swoosh underneath it, as if the swing had bled out its color onto the floor while it was swinging. We thought it was a good way to display the new collection. I suppose what we would like people to do as hired designers is that people will perceive the material differently than they have so far.
This is really the most exciting time to be in Milan. There's creativity and inspiration throughout the city.
And we had this idea to create a range of sculptural planters.
And we wanted to create a space for contemplation and seeing the sun.
Instead of just bringing stuff to life.
Entering inside this small temple.
There's a lot of things happening, but you have to find the ones where you feel that this design has something to say, which is extraordinary, it's innovative, but it's something that people want. We call it the unexpected welcome.
What we would like people to do as hired designers is that people will perceive the material differently than they have so far.
Moments like this are just so famous for.
We're dealing with the revolution of the LED, but still in the process of expressing all of its opportunities and possibilities.
Our intention was to create a project with a big dimension by using LED technologies.
The Buster bulb is the world's first designer LED bulb. We just try and make LEDs sexy, not just so they save you money, save the planet, but people actually want to put them in their homes.
The color gives a spontaneity to the piece, so it's very free.
And instead of just having a floating art piece, we thought, why don't we try and make something that makes people feel welcome to come into the building.
The idea was to create a lamp that can be timeless, seductive, and at the same time different.
Yeah, I think the real hook was the elegant simplicity of it. It's really nothing more than a half of a sphere, but it makes a beautiful effect on the wall, and I think it's perfect for a lot of different scenarios.
We are always curious about new things, and just to have your eyes open, you get inspired all the time.
They have taken the DNA of Carl Hansen and then they have added on their own upholstery. And I think the result is beautiful.
What we've tried to do with the tiptoe is to actually remove everything we possibly can from a sofa.
I really like to combine materials, to combine fabrics, colors. This gives a strong character to the product.
This year we present a new collection. We have a concept, we call it An Ocean Within.
We did a lot of tests how we could get away with one line that would have enough support for your back. So we came up with this curve that somehow works when you sit straight on, but also works when you sit sideways.
I'm introducing my new product called Hudson. It was actually inspired by the architecture of the Freedom Tower. From there, it took on its own form.
This year, we present a new concept, freestanding, traditional kind of wardrobe.
I think
You're seeing people who are more knowledgeable about the environment and about using waste materials, and they truly care about